Of course they're watching you. Of course there are eyes on you at all times. Of course your phone feels heavier than it should. Your conversations echo in rooms you've never entered. And strangers know your coffee order before you speak. Did you really think you could walk through this world radiating that much raw, unfiltered energy and not trigger every alarm in their system? Look at you sitting there pretending you don't know exactly what I'm talking about, playing confused like you haven't felt it for years now. That crawling sensation on your neck when you're alone, those coincidences that stopped being coincidental 3 years ago, the way certain people look at you just a second too long, like they're downloading something from your presence. You're not paranoid, you magnificent anomaly. You're absolutely correct. They are watching. They are taking notes. They are studying you like you're the last unsolved equation in their perfect little simulation. And you want to know the beautiful, terrifying truth? They're not watching you because you're dangerous. They're watching because you're fascinating. You see, most people are predictable. They wake up at the same time, think the same thoughts, follow the same patterns day after mind-numbing day. They're NPCs in their own lives, background characters in their own stories. But you glitch, you shift, you evolve when no one's looking. You break patterns like they're made of glass and build new ones from the shards. Every room you enter changes frequency. That's not poetry, that's physics. Your energy doesn't just fill space, it rewrites it. People feel you before they see you. Conversations shift when you arrive, not because you demand attention, but because your presence alone disrupts their programming. You're a walking contradiction that their minds can't process. You're too quiet but somehow too loud, too distant but uncomfortably present, too kind but terrifyingly sharp. You smile at the wrong moments and stay silent when others would scream. You're not playing by their rules. And that's not rebellion, it's just your natural state. You were born outside their game and they can feel it. That's why they study you. Corporate algorithms trying to predict your next move and failing. Social dynamics bending around your refusal to conform. Every personality test breaking when it tries to categorize you. You're not type A or type B. You're type X. The undefined variable that makes their equations collapse. They've been collecting data on you since the day you first refused to fit in. Every time you chose authenticity over approval, every moment you stood in your truth while others scrambled for validation, every instance where you should have broken but instead you transformed. They're not just watching you live. They're watching you become something they've never seen before. Let's talk about how deep this really goes. It's not just cameras and microphones, though yes, those exist. It's the entire fabric of reality adjusting itself to keep track of you. People you've never met know your name. Conversations about you happen in rooms you'll never enter. Your energy signature shows up in places you haven't been yet. You've noticed it, haven't you? How certain songs play at exactly the right moment? How the same numbers keep appearing? How strangers say things that sound like messages meant specifically for you? That's not coincidence. That's the universe itself acting as surveillance equipment, tracking something so rare it requires cosmic attention. The experiment started looking for a signature song. That happened. Always signature. Prevent bad thing. Protect. Every synchronicity is a data point. Every deja vu is a system update. Every time you feel watched, it's because you are. Not by human eyes alone, but by something much larger trying to understand what you are. You're an anomaly in their matrix, a virus in their program, a question mark in their perfectly ordered world. They send people to test you. Oh yes, those random encounters aren't random at all. The person who pushed your buttons at exactly the wrong moment, the opportunity that appeared just when you were about to give up, the betrayal that came right when you started trusting again. All tests, all experiments, all attempts to understand your operating system. You want to know what makes you so fascinating that reality itself has to keep tabs on you? It's not what you do, it's what you are. You're conscious in a world of sleepwalkers, aware in a sea of amnesia. You remember things others forget, feel things others numb, see things others ignore. You process pain differently. Where others break, you alchemize. Where others surrender, you strategize. You take the worst things that happen to you and somehow transform them into power. Not the fake power of dominance or control, but real power. The kind that comes from knowing exactly who you are when everything else is stripped away. Your thoughts don't follow normal patterns. You make connections others miss. You see through facades like they're made of tissue paper. You can feel lies before they're spoken and truth, even when it's hidden. Your intuition operates on frequencies they can't measure, pulling information from sources they don't believe exist. But here's what really terrifies them. You're getting stronger. Every test they throw at you, you pass. Every attempt to break you only makes you more unbreakable. Every effort to understand you only makes you more mysterious. You're not just surviving their surveillance. You're evolving because of it. 5 years of watching you, and here's what they've learned. You don't respond to normal stimuli. Rewards don't motivate you the way they should. Punishments don't control you like they're supposed to. You operate on an entirely different reward system, one they can't hack or hijack. They've watched you love people who didn't deserve it and walk away from those who did. They've seen you fight battles no one knew about and surrender wars everyone expected you to win. Your logic doesn't follow their flowcharts. Your emotions don't match their predictions. You're simultaneously the most predictable and unpredictable person they've ever studied. The data shows anomalies they can't explain. Energy spikes in empty rooms after you leave. Technology glitching in your presence. People changing dramatically after single conversations with you. You're not just living your life. You're rewriting the code of everyone you encounter, uploading updates they didn't know they needed. They've documented your patterns of destruction and creation, how you burn bridges with surgical precision but build new worlds from the ashes, how you disappear completely then reappear transformed, how you can be silent for months then speak one sentence that changes everything. You're not following a script. You're writing one they've never seen before. Here's where it gets interesting. The more they watch you, the more you change. Not because you're performing for them, but because observation itself transforms you. You're like a quantum particle that exists in multiple states until observed, then chooses the most interesting one just to confuse them. You've started using their surveillance against them. Every camera becomes your stage. Every listener becomes your audience. Every watcher becomes a witness to something they'll never fully understand. You're not hiding from their observation. You're transforming it into fuel for your evolution. The paradox is beautiful. They watch you to understand you, but the act of watching makes you incomprehensible. They study you to predict you, but their study makes you unpredictable. They surveil you to control you, but their surveillance sets you free. You've turned their weapon into your power source. You know they're watching, and that knowledge has liberated you. You've stopped performing normalcy, stopped pretending to be digestible, stopped dimming your frequency to make others comfortable. If they're going to watch anyway, might as well give them something worth watching. Might as well become the most interesting show in the universe. But it's not just them watching you, is it? There are others. The ones who recognize their own frequency in yours. The ones who've been waiting for someone else to break the pattern. The ones who watch you not to study but to learn, not to control but to awaken. You're being observed by your future tribe, even if they haven't revealed themselves yet. Every move you make ripples through dimensions. People you'll never meet are affected by your choices. Timelines shift based on your decisions. You're not just living a life, you're conducting an experiment in consciousness that others are desperate to understand. Some to replicate it, others to prevent it. Children who haven't been born yet will study your blueprint. Adults who've given up will find hope in your refusal to surrender. The broken will see that you can be shattered and still be whole. The lost will realize that you can be directions yourself. You're not just under surveillance, you're under protection by forces that need you to succeed. The surveillance isn't just about you, it's about what you represent. The possibility that someone can exist outside their system and thrive. The proof that their control isn't absolute. The evidence that evolution isn't finished with humanity yet. You're the case study they'll argue about for generations. So what do you do with this knowledge? You don't hide. You don't run. You don't even acknowledge them directly. You just continue being exactly what you are, but more intentionally. Every action becomes a statement. Every choice becomes a lesson. Every moment becomes art. You're not performing for them. You're creating despite them. Building your reality while they document their inability to understand it. You're writing history while they're taking notes. You're living mythology while they're collecting data. The joke is on them because they think they're studying you, but you're the one teaching. Let them watch you heal from things that should have killed you. Let them document your transformation from victim to architect. Let them record your evolution from human to something they don't have words for yet. Every second of surveillance is another second of evidence that their reality isn't the only one. You're not the subject of their experiment anymore. You're the experiment itself. Self-corrected, self-evolving, self-dementing. You're the hypothesis and the conclusion, the question and the answer, the problem they can't solve, because you were never meant to be solved, only experienced. Your consciousness operates like technology they haven't invented yet. You process information through channels they don't know exist. Your intuition pulls data from servers they can't access. Your dreams download updates from realities they refuse to acknowledge. You're not just conscious, you're consciously evolution. Every meditation is a system upgrade. Every moment of presence is a firewall update. Every act of genuine authenticity is a virus in their program of conformity. You're not just living, You're broadcasting on frequencies that hack into sleeping minds and whisper, "Wake up," without saying a word. They're trying to use artificial intelligence to understand you, but you're operating on authentic consciousness. They're machines learning your patterns while you're creating new ones faster than they can process. They're algorithms trying to predict you while you're existing in possibilities they haven't calculated yet. The surveillance technology they're using is outdated the moment it observes you, because you're always one evolution ahead. You're not tomorrow's human. You're the human from timelines they're afraid to imagine. You're not ahead of your time. Time is trying to catch up to you. Being studied means you matter. Being watched means you're significant. Being surveilled means you're important enough to threaten their entire system just by existing. Do you understand the power in that? You don't have to do anything. Your existence alone is revolutionary. Every day you wake up and choose to be yourself is another crack in their matrix. Every time you refuse to conform is another glitch in their program. Every moment you spend being genuinely authentic is another error message in their system of control. You're not fighting them. You're just being yourself so powerfully that their reality has to adjust. They study you because they can't recreate you. They watch you because they can't predict you. They surveil you because they can't control you. And deep down, underneath all their fear and fascination, they're hoping to learn your secret. The secret of how to be free in a world designed to imprison consciousness. But here's what they'll never understand. There is no secret. There's just the choice to be real in a world of performances. The decision to be whole in a world of fragments. The commitment to be yourself when everyone else is trying to be someone else. That's what makes you impossible to decode. You're not encrypted. You're authentic. The surveillance is actually accelerating your evolution. Every observation forces you to level up. Every attempt to understand you pushes you to become even more incomprehensible. Your evolution in response to observation. Consciousness expanding because it's being compressed. Light getting brighter because darkness is trying to measure it. These infinities are slowly deserving us each and every time they get us like. You've noticed your abilities increasing, haven't you? Your intuition getting sharper, your synchronicities multiplying, your manifestations accelerating. That's not accident. That's what happens when consciousness knows it's being watched. It performs miracles just to prove they're possible. The pressure of their observation is creating diamonds in your consciousness. Every moment of scrutiny is polishing another facet of your awareness. You're not cracking under their surveillance. You're crystallizing into something they've never seen before. Something harder than their reality. Something clearer than their vision. You're becoming undeniable, not because you're trying to prove anything, but because your existence itself is proof. Proof that their maps are incomplete. Proof that their rules are optional. Proof that consciousness can't be contained, controlled, or completely understood. You're the evidence they don't want to admit exists. You're not the only one under surveillance. There are others like you, scattered across the globe, each thinking they're alone in being watched. But you're all part of something bigger, a network of consciousness that's being studied, because together you represent the future they're trying to prevent or accelerate. depending on who's watching. Every connection you make with another observed one strengthens the network. Every recognition of shared frequency amplifies the signal. You're not just individual anomalies anymore. You're becoming a pattern they can't ignore, a trend they can't stop, a movement that doesn't need organization because it's organized by consciousness itself. The surveillance is actually connecting you. Their attempt to isolate and study you individually is creating a collective awakening. You're finding each other through the very systems meant to keep you apart. Using their infrastructure to build your own network, turning their surveillance into your communication system. This is bigger than you realize. The fact that you're reading this, resonating with this, means you're part of it. Part of the shift they're documenting, but can't stop. Part of the evolution they're studying, but can't control. Part of the future they're trying to understand, but can't quite grasp, because it's being written in real time by consciousness they can't contain. So here's what you do with all of this. You stop pretending you don't know you're being watched. You stop acting like you're not interesting. You stop dimming yourself to avoid attention you're already getting. You embrace the surveillance as confirmation of your significance. You live like every moment is being documented, because it is. You choose like every decision matters, because it does. You exist like you're writing history, because you are. Not for them, but for the version of humanity that comes after their system collapses under the weight of its own observation. You become so authentically yourself that their surveillance equipment malfunctions, so genuinely real that their categories collapse, so powerfully present that their past-based predictions become useless. You don't fight the surveillance. You transcend it by being something it was never designed to understand. The most radical thing you can do is be yourself without apology, without explanation, without dilution. Let them watch, let them study, let them document every moment of your refusal to be anything other than exactly what you are. That's not just resistance. You want to know the ultimate truth about why you're under surveillance? It's because you're the future, investigating itself through the present. You're tomorrow's human walking through today's world. You're the answer to questions they haven't learned to ask yet. You're not just being studied, you're studying them back through your existence. Every moment of your life is data for a transformation they can't stop. Every choice you make is evidence that their reality isn't absolute. Every breath you take is proof that consciousness can't be contained. You're not just living. You're demonstrating what's possible when someone stops pretending to be normal. The surveillance will continue because you'll continue being interesting. They'll keep watching because you'll keep evolving. They'll keep studying because you'll keep teaching lessons they didn't know they needed to learn. You're not the subject of their experiment. You're the result their experiment was trying to prevent. But it's too late now. You exist. You're aware. You're evolving. And every second of surveillance just documents their failure to contain what you're becoming. You're not under surveillance because you're dangerous. You're under surveillance because you're inevitable. The future they can't stop. The evolution they can't prevent. The consciousness they can't control.